Once upon a time, on the slants of the cold mountain, there lived a youthful shepherd named Kenshin, known for his benevolence and immaculate heart. Kenshin was adored by everybody within the town, both for his aptitude in crowding sheep and for his infectious cheerfulness. Moreover, since much appreciated to these abilities, he gave work to numerous individuals and was exceptionally committed to making a difference others and making the town develop. Be that as it may, among the villagers, there was moreover a man named Masaharu, expended by envy towards Kenshin. This person might not stand the bliss and victory of the youthful shepherd and harbored a profound and harmful hatred inside himself. He would have preferred to be the center of consideration, and he would have needed individuals to regard and appreciate him like they did Kenshin. But the individuals, particularly the young ladies of the town, were as it were pulled into Kenshin. For him, be that as it may, they felt a sense of aversion and doubt. So, one day, whereas Kenshin was brushing his run on the banks of a crystalline lake, Masaharu had the thought of actualizing in fiendish arrange. With a fiendish grin, he pushed the shepherd into the frosty waters of the lake, condemning him to certain passing. Whereas the followers were thankful for the shrewdness that happened from the monk's words, Satoru started to demonstrate the 7 insider facts through which to identify those who feel envy of us. The ace continued. "The primary thing you wish to do," said the minister, "is to pay consideration to how the individual before you responds to your great news. A transitory imply of nausea, a constrained grin that doesn't include the eyes, or a frown of disillusionment covered up behind a hand can deceive their envy. So, my expensive, consider and learn the facial miniaturized scale expressions and body behavior of the individuals before you. It'll be pivotal to get it in case they feel envy. Chatter is another sign you wish to pay near consideration to," Satoru proceeded. "Jealous individuals, in reality, cherish to spread rumors and misrepresentations around you. They do it since through chatter, they harm the disgust you breathe each day. So, on the off chance that somebody tells you talk behind your back or tries to eclipse your victories with made-up stories, they are likely persuaded by envy. Intemperate bootlicking is another sign not to be thought little of. Those who laud you unreasonably without ever highlighting your abscons or advertising you useful exhortation frequently cover up profound envy. Be watchful of this intemperate laud since it hides the genuine want to see you fall flat or endure." Whereas the disciples took notes, Satoru stopped to ensure that each of them might absorb these concepts well. At that point, he proceeded, "And jealous individuals seem all of a sudden become your best companion, appearing an intemperate, nearly horrible intrigued in your lives," said the minister, presenting another sign to be careful for. "Subsequently, be attentive of these sudden fellowships." The followers ingested the master's words, their hearts filled with shrewdness and mindfulness. But there was one doubt that still tormented them. Ace Satoru, a disciple, asked in a hesitant voice, "Is there a way to secure yourself from other people's envy and its negative impacts?" Satoru grinned merciful. "Of course, my expensive devotee, there are 2 powerful weapons against envy. The primary weapon is information. The more we know the privileged insights of envy, the more effectively able to recognize it and protect ourselves from its unobtrusive assaults. As it were, through information can we unmask the faces of envy and secure ourselves from its harms. Subsequently, continuously carry with you the 7 signs we've fair talked around. The moment weapon is sympathy. Rather than feeling scorn or outrage towards those who envy us, we must feel kindness for them. We must understand that envy is a sign of inside suffering, insecurity, and need of self-esteem. Those who envy are caught in a cage of pain, incapable of getting a charge out of the victories of others and accomplishing their claim victories. Kindness permits us to see past envy and recognize the humankind that hides behind it. Rather than judging and condemning, we will offer sympathy and understanding, helping those who endure to free themselves from the chains of envy and discover internal peace. In expansion to information and kindness, Satoru taught his followers another capable weapon against envy: reflection. Through contemplation, hone. Devotees learn to cultivate self-awareness, recognize their negative contemplations, and change them into positive, compassionate contemplations. Contemplation, too, made a difference them develop a calmer and more peaceful intellect, less inclined to be disturbed by the envy of others. Much obliged to contemplation, the devotees learn to live within the show, to appreciate their accomplishments, and not be impacted by the judgments and conclusions of others. Much appreciated to this valuable lesson, the story of Kenshin and the legend of the Dark Lake remained imprinted within the hearts of the disciples, a steady caution not to be overpowered by envy and to instead develop kindness. In the following days, the disciples put Satoru's lessons into hone, carefully watching the behavior of the people around them and attempting to observe between earnest companionship and covered-up envy. They learned to recognize miniaturized scale signals that betray envy, such as a glower at their successes, a wry comment almost an achievement, or an endeavor to disparage their accomplishments. And over time, they created an intense affectability towards envy, managing to recognize it indeed in its most subtle forms. But they didn't fair recognize it. They moreover learned to oversee it with compassion and shrewdness. When they seen envy in others, they did not judge or condemn. Instead, they tried to get at the significant reasons for that envy, recognizing the enduring and frailty covered up behind it. With thoughtfulness and understanding, they advertised words of comfort and shrewd exhortation, making a difference those caught in envy to free themselves from their chains and discover internal peace. Their sympathy was not, as it were, an act of thoughtfulness, but to a technique to kill envy from their lives and those of those around them. They understood that envy was like an infectious infection. In the event that it was not battled with sympathy, it might spread effectively, harming parts and destroying connections. But what do this story and the legend of the Dark Lake educate us? They educate us that envy is a destructive emotion that can harm our connections, prevent our otherworldly advance, and anticipate us from living a cheerful and satisfying life. And that on the off chance that we want to defend our mental wealth, well-being, and our enthusiastic adjust, we must know how to recognize it and kill it from our lives. Don't forget to show your support. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content.